sub better than dub? That's right, today I'm going to be answering the one argument that's been hashtag millions of times in the anime community, even though it's completely pointless. But when people have this argument, they tend to just claim that dub isn't authentic or that people just glaze sub for the sake of it. So today I'm actually going to answer that question fairly, but in order to do that, I think we need to talk about the evolution of both sub and dub over time and why, even though one may feel more authentic, it doesn't necessarily make it better to watch. So let's kick this off by rewinding all the way back to the early 2000s when a lot of us were all kids and our anime journey began, even if we didn't necessarily realize that it was anime. I mean, I imagine most of us grow up watching some form of anime like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, One Piece and Naruto, all in English dub. And those dubs were the gateway for many of us into this world. I mean, for a lot of people, including myself, these shows were actually kind of the peak of my childhood. I mean, we had Ash Ketchum running around trying to get some gym badges and befriending Pokemon, and yet somehow that felt like the ultimate anime moment to us. And let's be real, whether you want to admit it or not, all of those voices stuck with us. Whether it was Yu-Gi-Oh's It's Time to Duel or GX's Get Your Game On, they were just moments that stuck with us forever. And yeah, we can't deny that looking back on it, those dubs were just a little rough around the edges, but honestly, that was kind of part of the charm. I mean, these were the voices we knew, the voices we grew up with, and as kids, we didn't think twice about the odd line delivery or the weird voice choices, because at the end of the day, it was just a show through and through in our eyes, even if the quality wasn't what it is now. So why exactly is it that sub and dub feel so different to us as we get older? And honestly, that's because of the little subtle differences that come with watching anime in dubbed. When we were younger, we didn't really notice these little things, but now that we're more grown up, if we're watching an anime in our native language, we start to notice stuff like tone, timing, or even that little cringe moment when a character's voice just doesn't quite match the expression on their face. And we pick up on these things whether we realize that we're doing it or not, because it's just naturally harder to ignore these things when you actually fully understand the language. So because of that, I guess you could say the Japanese voice actors already have a massive advantage on the English voice actors as an English watcher, but they also just low-key do it way better on a more consistent basis, and I don't think anyone can argue that. I mean, to think that people like you and I can watch scenes where we're just reading subtitles and hearing unfamiliar sounds but feeling so much more emotion is honestly kinda crazy. Like, the raw emotion these Japanese voice actors put into their performances is next level. The way they scream, laugh, or even cry, it just pretty much always feels like it's truly coming from within. And let me tell you, when you really feel that intensity while reading the subtitles, it's like the show's hitting you from every single angle. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that English voice actors don't get it right sometimes, because they definitely do. I just find it to be less consistent than the Japanese voice actors. But there are certainly lots of moments in English dubs that I've heard and have just really stuck with me. I mean, one example I like to use of this is actually Laura Bailey's portrayal of Kushina Uzumaki in Naruto. I mean, that scene when Naruto meets her for the first time and she's talking about Minato and how they met, and it's just perfect. Another amazing example of how good English voice actors can be is Sean Chiplock's performance of Subaru Natsuki in ReZero. I mean, any true anime watcher cannot deny that Subaru is one of the best written protagonists of all time. And because of that, the pure emotional weight and suffering that that man experiences makes him incredibly hard to voice act for. But Sean does an incredible job of capturing all of that. I mean, just take a look at this scene from season 1.
All I do is talk a big game and make myself sound like a big shot when I can't do anything. I never do anything, yet I complain with the best of them like it's my job or something. Who the hell do I think I am? I'm a fraud. It's amazing that I can live like this and not feel ashamed. You know I'm right. I'm an empty shell. There's nothing inside me at all. I know there isn't.
You really felt every word in that, right? I mean, this scene is probably my favorite scene from the English dub version of ReZero, not only because the voice acting is incredible, but also because Rem got rejected. Sorry, I just had to throw that in there, but the point is, these moments prove that English voice actors can absolutely nail it out of the park as much as Japanese voice actors do. And as time's gone on, I feel like people are starting to realize and accept that, and that's why dub has become more and more popular over the years. And I know that some of you hardcore sub watchers will probably disagree with that statement, but the fact is platforms like Netflix and Crunchyroll are actually reporting that a larger percentage of their viewers prefer watching anime in dub than sub these days. Now, admittedly, there is a chance that's because TikTok has completely shredded everyone's attention span, and now it's just way too much effort for people to actually read subtitles. But I think the real reason is because dub has evolved and improved so much more than sub has over the years, and it's just getting more and more accepted by people. And that's partly because there's something just more accessible about dubs, especially for the new fans of anime. I mean, no one can deny that it's less of a barrier to entry and much easier to sit back, relax and enjoy a show with it's in your native language, because you just don't have to look down at the text every couple of seconds. Well, actually, I think the main reason that dub has become more accepted and has evolved so much over the years is because it's actually become more true to the source material in this day and age. I mean, back in the day with shows like Astro Boy, the names, the storylines, and even the entire scenes were just massively altered, and because of that, dub instantly gained this dark grey cloud over its head, and rightfully so. But thankfully, these days, both the sub and dub actually get the same story, so it doesn't actually really matter which version of the show you watch, which naturally ends up making dub a lot more accessible and easier for people to watch in their native language. For me personally though, I will always just heavily prefer sub, especially for those emotional, intense scenes, or you know, like romance animes for example. I just feel like the Japanese voice actors pour so much passion into their performances, and seeing voice actors like Rie Takahashi literally carrying an entire show on her back in that One Guild Receptionist anime, or of course Asami Seto absolutely dominating as Mai-san in Bunny Girl Senpai. It's just really clear to me which one I find more enjoyable to watch. However, there are also times where I prefer dub of a show, and an example of this would be Black Clover. I mean, I've watched Black Clover in both sub and dub, and even though I'm someone who would normally heavily prefer sub, for some reason I find myself preferring the dub of Black Clover. I'm not really sure why, but I guess that leads me on to perfectly answer the original question of this video. Which is better, sub or dub? And you guys are gonna hate me for this, but honestly, the answer is neither. Watching anime in either sub or dub is just all about personal preference, especially in this day and age now that we get the same story. So if you love the raw energy and the emotion of Japanese voice acting like I do, then go for the sub. But if you maybe want something more accessible, potentially more nostalgic based on your childhood, and maybe less distracting for you as an English viewer, then just watch the dub. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how you enjoy anime as long as you're enjoying it and getting to connect with both the story and the characters, because that's what anime is all about. I'm sure all of you have your own reasons for preferring either sub or dub, and I've already told you guys I heavily prefer sub for me personally, and no matter which one you prefer, it's completely okay, but I would love to hear your reasons as to why you prefer that one. So please do let me know in the comments, because even though the argument is pointless, it's always interesting to see the different takes on the two. With that being said though, once again, do not forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more anime content coming your way. I mean, seriously, I've got so many more videos lined up and I can't wait to keep talking about a bunch of different anime with you guys. But if you don't want to wait for those videos and you want to watch me waffle about anime some more, then make sure you check out the video that's on screen now. But either way, I hope I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and peace out.